as an expression of a simple truth. Israel is coming back to Africa, and Africa is coming back to Israel. I believe in Africa. I believe in Africa. I believe in its potential, present and future. It is a continent on the rise. Its people are diverse and talented. I've made strengthening our relations one of our top priorities, national and international priorities of the State of Israel. It's the reason I became the first Israeli Prime Minister to visit Africa in decades. Well, one thing I can assure you, it won't be decades until an Israeli leader visits Africa again. It won't be 5 years, it'll be a few months. Africa and Israel share a natural affinity. We have, in many ways, similar histories. Your nations toiled under foreign rule. You experienced horrific wars and slaughters, and you are still fighting to get out of the past into the future valiantly, in efforts that I deeply admire. With determination and conviction, you won your independence. You healed the wounds of the past to chart a future of hope for your people. This is very much our history. Our people, too, were denied independence for far too long. Our people, too, suffered the indignity of bondage, slavery, and dispossession. Our people, too, experienced unimaginable horrors of mass death and genocide. But we never, ever gave in. We fought for our independence and won.
All right. So we have had the Israel Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, saying that they are coming back to Africa. In fact, he made a statement saying that Israel is coming back to Africa and Africa coming back to Israel. Now, before I give you further analysis, I want you to take a look at this video, please.
You know why we're called Jews? Because we come from Judea. In my office in Jerusalem, there's an ancient seal. It's a signet ring of a Jewish official from the time of the Bible. The seal was found right next to the Western Wall, and it dates back 2,700 years to the time of King Hezekiah. Now there's a name of the Jewish official inscribed on the ring in Hebrew. His name was Netanyahu. That's my last name. My first name, Benjamin, dates back 1,000 years earlier to Binyamin, the son of Jacob, who was also known as Israel. Jacob and his 12 sons roamed these same hills of Judea and Samaria 4,000 years ago. And there's been a continuous Jewish presence in the land ever since. And for those Jews who were exiled from our land, they never stopped dreaming of coming back. Jews in Spain on the eve of their expulsion, Jews in the Ukraine fleeing the pogroms, Jews fighting the Warsaw Ghetto as the Nazis were circling around them. They never stopped praying. They never stopped yearning. They whispered, next year in Jerusalem, next year in the Promised Land. As the Prime Minister of Israel, I speak for 100 generations of Jews who were dispersed throughout the lands, who suffered every evil under the sun, but who never gave up hope of restoring their national life in the one and only Jewish state.
Now, talking about Jewish, there has been this long time argument whether Biafrans are Jewish or not. Now, I'm going to show you a video. This is going to be an eye-opener for you. Yes, an interview granted by our dear leader, KANU, about Biafrans being Jews or not. So please, I want you to sit back and watch this video. Then after this interview, after you're going to watch this video, there's another video I'm going to show you that is going to be more eye-opener for you. So please, I beg you to just sit back and watch this video. First of all, watch this interview.
I want to congratulate you and to thank you for coming us. Mr. Namdi KANU, Thank you. Yes.
From Biafra.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We will shortly tell the story of how did you happen to come here. But let's talk a little bit about your people story in Biafra. How many people there consider themselves Jewish, and how did it manifest itself?
Biafra in total has about a population of, say, 70 million people scattered all over the world. As you know, they've called us the wandering Jews of Africa. But those that identify themselves with their Jewish heritage is nearly about 50 million people.
15 million people?
50 million people.
Do they practice Judaism? They practice Judaism?
A significant number of them practice Judaism.
In what way?
In terms of their prayers, in terms of the Torah that they read, in terms of the kippah and the talit they used to pray, in terms of their recitation of their prayers, is a very significant segment of the population that actually practice it as we do, or most of us do in IPOB. The problem is that when IPOB is the indigenous people of Biafra, is this umbrella movement all over the world that is pursuing the emancipation of Biafra from Nigeria. So what's been happening is that when Christianity came with colonialism, a lot of our Jewish heritage was suppressed. We were made to feel ashamed of our Jewishness, so to speak. But luckily, unfortunately for us, a lot of people bravely maintain that very tradition and culture till this very day. If you go to Umweri in Anambra State, it is there. All over the world, it is there. And even the Encyclopedia Britannica of 1929 mentioned it quite specifically that the Igbos are the Jews of Africa, because all the traditions you have from circumcision to everything that you can think of in the book of Leviticus, we're talking about
the Igbo nation, the Igbo people.
Yes.
Not all of them are Jewish, right? Not all the Igbos are Jewish, or they are.
They are all Jewish. The problem is that with the influence and influx of Christianity as a result of colonialism, a lot of that was dampened down. What happened was a lot of our emphasis was moved away from the Torah, the Old Testament, to the New Testament. But because the Old Testament still contained aspects of our tradition and our culture, we accepted the Bible as it was given to us.
Okay, we have a short clip showing you guys in Biafra in your Judaism way of life here.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah. Oh, say shalom. Hallelujah.
It's the sound. Centuries of colonial.
Did you hear that? Now, I know this may not convince some people, but then I will leave you in the hands of my brother a bit, so that he will tell you more about this Jewish and Israel coming back to Africa. So I beg you to sit back and listen to this, please. And then you do well to drop your comment on the comment section, what you think about this video. Watch this.
Yes, Master Nnamdi Kanu always finds safety in the hands of his brother, because nothing like a brother, nothing like blood. There is a statement that says blood is thicker than what? Than water. And you cannot find your brother outside. You find your brothers inside. And how do you know your brother? A brother is one who comes to attend to your matter or your case, or to your rescue when matter or issues in a critical. That is your brother. And that is why he ran to Israel for safety rather than going to UK. You know, for example, he knows what he was doing, because you can see UK, the British, the Civil War that claimed so many lives of the Biafrans was instigated and carried out and sponsored by who? By the UK. And as you can see that telling against him now, he holding the passport and was kidnapped. You know, it was illegal. Up to today, what has the UK Parliament or UK government, what have they done concerning or regard to that? Nothing. But you can see Israel, they are the one showing you that that blood is thicker than water. No matter what happened, no matter whose citizen you come from, so long you remain a Biafran man, a Biafran Igbo man, you are an Israeli in Africa. It means actually blood is thicker than water. Yes, blood is thicker than water, and that is what you are seeing. And that is why, let me tell you, don't you know that what they are practicing is Judaism? It's a Jewish, and Master Nnamdi Kanu is a hardcore, I repeat, hardcore, and I quote again, hardcore Jewish.
Let me go ask this question. Because if you look at the flag of Biafra, you see Star of David.
Star of what? David. God bless you.
How come the Igbos were able to keep that heritage so many years that it now reflects in the flag?
We leave it.
How come they're able to keep it so many years that now they now know and it reflected in the flag?
It is a legacy, you know, like I said, it is in the blood, it is in the bone, it is in the vein, it is in the water, it is in the pulmonary, and it is in the artery of our body. So you cannot clean it, and you cannot wave it away, and you cannot push it away, you cannot neither take it away.
Meaning it's in your DNA.
It is exactly, you are giving me English word. I was giving you the British, the Biafran language. You understand? Now you are giving me the British English word. DNA.
That is serious, because as you speak, I've seen a video where you can clearly see some Israelites who claim that they came to Nigeria to look for their brothers.
They did not claim.
And in the course of their sojourn here, they were rounded up by secret agencies, arrested. So they were lamenting. Though they have since gone back to their place.
They have to go back to their place, and they have to search for their lost brothers. And those brothers we are talking about are no other people or no other nation. There are no other tribe than the Biafrans, the Igbos. Hello? The Biafrans are those Israel, and they have come. You know, the visitation that time is like they were like, are you sure? Now these people, our brothers, they come, is the same father, the same mother, is from our lineage. You know, I don't know, let me take you to the culture of African culture. You know, when they say so person is a member of a family, some others, in order to confirm it, they will go and make some inquiries, to make some traces, you understand, to know if actually that boy, especially if the child is a male child, you understand, there will be a traces that they will trace in order. I remember what happened, that was either 2010 or 2005, then about a family, a particular woman give birth to a child, and that child was so you know, why so yellow, as in we call them Oyibo, and the father, the mother, that lineage of the father, the grandfather said, they were all black. So they were all accusing the woman of you know, playing game outside. The woman was like, I never, no other man have touched me except my husband. So the people did not believe it. Later on, to confirm if what the woman is saying is the truth, they have to take her even to the shrine, and even in the shrine now told them that so person, and this thing took place many years ago. A man that was very, very fair in the family, in their generation, that somebody in their generation, you know, was as fair as that child. So, you know, now as in culture, they now believe that the man is back in the family again.
Reincarnated.
That is a reincarnation.
Okay, now, because it's very clear, no longer a rumor that the Igbos have been placed in Israel website as the lost tribe of Israel.
Of Israel, yes.
How does that news come to you?
It is a very good news, and it is high time that we need to look for our brothers wherever our brothers is, and welcome them and recognize them and embrace them, and bring them back home. Bring them back home. Bring them back home. Let's come together and enjoy together and fellowship together. That was why the Bible said that the lost, I'm talking about the prodigal son, you know, when he returned back, what happened? His father threw party that the lost son is back. So those lost Igbos, those lost Jews, those lost Israelis is what is trying to come back now. And that is why part of them, we are more than this, but as time goes on, you will see other part of Biafrans, other part of the Jewish that have lost. You will see God bring them back again. You understand?
Now, if you look at this recent Biafra Day, we saw so many countries. Is it Canada? Is it United States of America?
UK self.
Is it UK?
Iceland.
Is it Brazil?
Poland.
You see
Netherlands.
Resonating.
Everybody, everywhere.
What do you think?
Even in Norway. Funny enough, in Turkey, completely shut down, sit at home. Everybody respect that day, they honor that day. Do you know why? Everybody in one way or the other have a loss. Are you hearing me?
During that war.
During the war, if you did not lose human being, you lost property. If you did not lose human being, you lost property. I don't know if you get it. I met a man yesterday which told me so many secret things that I don't know about this country before now. He did not lose, but he lost property. He did not lose life, but their family lost property. When he was telling me, I became sure. He said yes. He said actually none of their family members died in the war, but their property, their father property, they lost it. He said most of them basically in River State. Do you understand? So, and on this note, that is why you see that very day, all over the world, that day was seriously put in place and was, obeyed and recognized and respect.
Okay, now, back here in Nigeria, we have seen a situation where even people who hit after before now did not accept their Igbo origin are coming out to say, yes, you are Igbo. I've seen a video of a king in Delta State. Of course, to be quite honest with you, the king where the former governor comes from, Okowa. Coming out clearly to say, yes, I am an Igbo man. We came from Uri in Anambra State.
Yes, I don't blame most of these people because they were not told. Some of them said their parents have died. Who know much where they come from? Their relations are nowhere to be found. Most of them, their mother, most especially, child always stay more closer to the mother than the father. And if you come to history, mostly in this area, men have the history, have the record where they come from more than the women. So their mother did not actually disclose from their infant stage, the deep down of where they come from. That's why you see them, they'll come up, they'll begin to tell you, I am this place, I am this place, because for example, now, I marry a Benin woman. For example, a man died. For example, when the child was at the tender, maybe as they were giving birth, a man died before they give birth to him or her. So in Benin, he will claim Benin, not knowing that I am from.
I must say very big thank you for it. Mr. Chinedu Michael, I understand that, of course, the Israel are brothers to the Igbos, by extension to Biafrans. But we understand that Donald currently is going through travail. But seeing Israelites rallying, protesting, asking Nigerian government to release Nnamdi Kanu, asking British government to step in and ensure that their brother is released. How does it come to you?
No, it didn't come to me as a surprise anyway, because I noticed at the last 30th Biafran Day, I will see a lot that happened in Israel. I saw Israelis, both men and women. In fact, we saw the entire Jews, mounting, celebrating the Biafran Day, celebrating the birth of the first Jewish African state. For me, for the Israelis, for the Jews of Israel to join, to even remember that day, tells a lot of story of the supposed alliance or the supposed synergy or the bloodline. Let me put it that way, between the Biafrans, the Igbos, of course, and of course the Jewish state. And I can see over time, I've seen aides of the Prime Minister of Israel making different statements referencing Biafra recognition, talking about Nnamdi Kanu, and a lot of people does not know the reason why Nnamdi Kanu is always been welcome within Jerusalem and of course the Western world. There's a lot of things that's attached to that, and we have built a relationship to the extent that the Israeli government themselves officially has recognized Biafra, of course the Igbos, as one of the lost tribes of Israel. We have the other ones from Massa, Uganda. We have another one too from, of course, Ethiopia. We know the history, as the only nation that was not colonized. But what we are saying at this point in time, that it has become a reality where we are seeing so many Biafran lobbies from different parts of the world, different countries, different nations, factoring the liberation of Biafra. Talking about, another African consciousness called Nnamdi Kanu, talking about Ibrahim Traore, talking about Nelson Mandela, but a lot of people are surprised that the Biafran recognition agenda, and of course that has been identified on several bases, even though it was being reported some time ago that the Israeli government under Benjamin Netanyahu has gone as far as signing a Biafran charter. So these are some of the things we want to see, and of course the Israeli embassy located in Biafran land is also a factor of trust. It's also a factor of patriotism. It's also a factor of brotherhood and bloodline and recognition of an entity or a brother that can never hurt to the extent of hurting Israel. And secondly, there is need for us, at this point in time, to continue to build synergy with the Israeli people and the Israeli government, because what we are seeing now in just distant time, Israel will become a super world power that America will not be able to look at and point their hands towards them, even though we know that they have a more deeper relationship in that regard. But we are seeing Israel as a nation becoming independently in terms of weapon, in terms of military production, in terms of economy, in terms of economic activities, in terms of treaty. Tanzania alone as one of the powerful nations in the world, even though we still can give it to Israel at this point in time, they are still one of the powerful nations in the world. So what you're seeing every time and now, there's this bloodline, there's this connection that anything that happens to Biafra, anything about Nnamdi Kanu, they try to get the British attention to it, and of course signal their support for Nnamdi Kanu at any point in time.
Okay, let me tell you that I've seen a video recently where Nnamdi Kanu himself was explaining to some Israelites after Operation Python Dance, where he left Nigeria in escape for his life. He told them that he chose to come to Israel and not Britain because he feels safe. Okay, I've seen a video, Mr. Michael, where Nnamdi Kanu was explaining to some Israelites that he chose to come to Israel instead of UK after the Operation Python Dance that saw him run away from Nigeria. He said because he feels safer in the midst of the Israel who are his brothers.
Of course, Nnamdi Kanu has made it very clearly. He has brought the Zionist ideology to the Biafran agenda. He has also brought the lineage of religion of the Jewish people, the Orthodox Jews in Israel, in terms of the way and manner they worship. Nnamdi Kanu, is a Judaist. We believe in that concept of religion of Judaism. And Judaism is where almost all the world leaders, there's no world leader and there's no part of that group or forum, and so Nnamdi Kanu is a member of, is a Judaist, he practices Judaism, and of course he said that he worshipped here in Israel. Of course, that's what I'm saying. saying. So, if you look at Mazin and the Khan at every point in time, about the way he dresses and everything, he signifies that he is a Jewish man and that he's proud to be a Jew. You know, and every point in time, we are seeing the Biafrans, you know, taking up solidarity, support for the plight of injustice meted against the Biafrans, against the Igbos, the extreme marginalization, and thereafter, you always see Israeli flag. If you go to Henri, let me put it that way, you know, there is, you know, an anchor of David in the kingdom till tomorrow, till today. You know, if you still go there, you see it. You know, let me go ask this question. What informed and influenced the Star of David on the map of, on the flag of Biafra? No, the fact is that, you know, that is the source, that is where we are coming from, you know, and it has been proven over the years that that is where we are coming from, you know, and that is what we are. If it is not where we are coming from, how come the ancient people that were able, you know, to relocate, to migrate from Middle East or Africa at that time? But remember, where you are calling Middle East, that now, what was it called before? Where we are calling Middle East now, what was it called before? Go and find out yourself what it was called before, and know actually who are the ancient black Hebrews. Then that will give you a signal that if those people did not come from that, there's no need. Ancient people, 7,000 BCE, they are still maintaining their source without anybody telling them. So it tells you that that is their source, and that is where they come from. I don't think there's any tribe in Africa. Yes, I can tell you, because when I visited Uri, in the kingdom, you know, I discovered it, and I asked questions. Find out whether there is any tribe, black tribe in Africa, where you go to a particular location and you discover similarities of the ancient Jewish kingdom. Maybe I should even ask you this question. The Biafra, that is the community where Okowa comes from, said recently that his kingship, his people migrated from Uri and Anambra State. Okay, that is it. You see, it's unfortunate that we find ourselves in this construction of, you know, wickedness by the British government, you know, to make sure that anything that has to do with Africa is fragmented. You know, look at Macron now threatening the whole of Africa because of Roman Traore. Now they will not allow Africa to even have a military, a force, that will not happen under the Western watch. So what is that? It tells you a lot of things, that these people sat somewhere in Berlin and shared Africa. So it tells a lot of things was balkanized, a lot of things was destroyed, a lot of stories, you know, was killed, a lot of you know, genealogy, so many things that could have defined the identity of the people. We are, you know, virtually destroyed by the version of the British colonial masters at that time. And it tells you that, when I said it very clearly before, you know, that Igala is an offshoot of Idu that gave birth to Godomigodo is from the same thing. But I will not tell you that the Bini is just a minor tribe, just like Ibanke in the entire Edo state. That the Asian people too are questionable. Now, if you look at that Idu, as at that time, before it become Igodomigodo, from Igodomigodo it become the so-called Edo state we are talking about, or whatever we are talking about today. But look at the tribes that make up the Bini tribe. Who are they? Ask questions, you still discover the truth. So the man from Okowa's local government, who is saying that the king, the Biafra, who is saying that they came from the kingdom, he's just being very honest to himself. So that's the picture. That's what it is. And these histories have been there. Okay, now let me ask you, how come the Portuguese the first explorers that set their foot on this part of the world when there was no West Africa, East Africa, North Africa. Bros, even Middle East, I said it before, I can't cross-check. This Middle East that I'm talking about today, what was the name of that Middle East before it was called Middle East? You can go and find that yourself. So you know what I'm saying at this point is that, you know, it came to that point where the Portuguese themselves said, do you know where the boundary of Biafra? You know, it was them that named Biafra. They brought that Biafra name to popularity. It was the Portuguese, not the British. And that was why I was saying at every point in time, then where did they get the name? So look at what they drafted as the Bight of Biafra in the old ancient Eastern province. That's what they call it. And what they wrote about the people they met here. So you can see the hand of the Britain in making sure that Africa never come together, African consciousness never come together. Everything that has to do with Africanism, you know, especially the Igbo people have been subjected simply because the Igbo people champion African independence and they see it as a threat to them. That was the only offense.
I was saying that there's a video where you can clearly see an Israeli lamenting and blaming Britain for joining different ethnicities together.
Of course, you see that.
So it means the consciousness has gone to that level.
Yes, of course, that's what it is, you know, and it's spreading, you know, because people are coming back to begin to dig the truth now, especially given what is happening in Burkina Faso now. So that consciousness is spreading. Africa is beginning to regain that consciousness, and you see most of those things, and that's just like what the Bible said, that through one man salvation came to the world, and through one man sin came to the world. I said through one man salvation and consciousnness must come to Africa for Africans to arise. There's no how, you know, if Africa rise to all these people will begin to, you know, ask us bring the burden of IMF, World Bank and all that, and they will not allow us to have an independent thinking of our own. And that's what people are saying. How come, you know, China is not speaking English? How come Japan is not speaking English? How come so many countries are not speaking English? What is wrong with Africa? Why must Africa not be Africa? And that is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is talking about. And that is the same line the Jewish people are trying to make sure that they protect their generation, they protect who they are, and they protect their identity.
Alright guys, what do you think about this? Please kindly drop your comments below the comment section. Share this video, make it go viral, so that the world, especially Biafrans, will understand, you know, what is going on. I bet share this video, make it go viral. Subscribe if you have not subscribed. Thank you for this coming out to Prospect Starnex TV, and bye for now.